Hello, and thank you for joining us today for the next Big E Hurt 35 Pennsylvania Sports, History, and more. And today I am joined by
Ben Carson
and Shane Keaton.
And today we are at the grave of Harry H. Mowery, Major League Baseball player.
Harry Harland Mowery, March 24th, 1884 to March 20th, 1947, was an American professional baseball third baseman who played in the major leagues from 1905 to 1917. He would play for the Cincinnati Reds, St. Louis Cardinals, Brooklyn Robins, and Pittsburgh Pirates. Jacob Mowery, Harry's father, and the town sheriff frequently housed tramps in his jail cell overnight. Young Henry became particularly friends with one tramp, prompting one of his brothers to nickname him Mike the Hobo. Mowery was best known for his unorthodox fielding style. Instead of catching a hard smash in his glove, he would knock the ball to the ground, then pick it up to throw out the runner. Defending against the bunt was a corner infielder's primary responsibility during the dead ball era. In 1910, Alfred H. Spink called Mowery the best fielder of bunts in either league. Mowery grew up playing baseball with school and town teams in the Chambersburg area. By the turn of the century, he was a third baseman for Chambersburg Acme, playing well enough in 1902 to earn a shot with a team from Chester, Pennsylvania, just south of Philly, in the Independent Pennsylvania League. Mowery returned to Central Pennsylvania with Williamsport of the Independent Tri-State League in 1904. The same year, married Nanny K. Hamill. The couple remained married until his death 43 years later. In 1905, Mowery joined the ranks of affiliated baseball with Savannah of the South Atlantic League. His .285 batting average and flashy defensive play at third base so impressed the Cincinnati Reds that they purchased his contract. Mowery made his first major league debut on September 24th, 1905. Playing both games of a doubleheader, he appeared in 7 games that season, batting .267, just making 7 errors at third base. Mowery spent most of 1906 with Baltimore of the Eastern League, which was owned by Cincinnati manager Ned Harland. The Reds recall him in August to avoid losing him in the Major League draft, and Mowery hit .321 in 21 games.
In 1907, Mowery was a regular third baseman for the Cincinnati, playing in 138 games and hitting .252. He hit an inside the park home run against Joe McGinney on August 14th. Mowery hit the only .220 and lost his starting position to Hans Loberton. In 1908, he hurt his knee, and in 1909, he was hitting just .191. When the Reds traded him to St. Louis on August 22nd for the infielder Chappie Charles, returning to a regular duty with the Cardinals in 1910. Mowery enjoyed the best season of his 13-year career, hitting .282, a career high, 70 RBIs, and 21 stolen bases. He remained the Cardinals' regular third baseman through the end of 1913, collecting at least 400 at-bats each year and hitting between .255 and .268. The Cardinals sent Mowery to the Pittsburgh Pirates on December 12, 1913 in the famous 3-for-5 deal. St. Louis traded Mowery for the first baseman Ed Kenichi and the pitcher Bob Harmon to Pittsburgh. For the infielders, Dot Miller and Art Butler, and an outfielder, Chief Wilson and Cozy Dillon, and a pitcher, Hank Robinson. Hampered by injuries, Mowery played in only 79 games for the Pirates. Before drawing his uncredentialed release, he played with some independent teams to finish out in the 1914 season. In 1915, Mowery remained in Pittsburgh with a Federal League's Pittsburgh Rebels, hitting .280 and leading all Federal League, third baseman with a .959 fielding percentage. He also established a career heights in games 151, hits 146, and stolen bases 40. After the Federal League folded, Wilbert Robertson signed Mowery for his veteran team with Brooklyn. That year he batted .244 in 144 games, and his career best 965 fielding percentage, led by the National League third baseman, and the Robins won the pennant. Appearing in his first World Series, Mowery hit only 176 in Brooklyn's losing effort. In 1917, the 33-year-old third baseman held out for more money, not reporting until April 10th. Mowery batted just .214, and the Robins released him in August, ending his Major League career.
Mike Mowery's Major League Baseball statistics are as follows. He had a career batting average of .256, a career home runs of 7, runs batted in 461, and stolen bases 167. His last Major League Baseball appearance was in August 13th, 1917 for the Brooklyn Robins. And his teams throughout his career were the Cincinnati Reds from 1905 to 1909, the St. Louis Cardinals from 1909 to 1913, Pittsburgh Pirates 1914, Pittsburgh Rebels from 1915, the Brooklyn Robins from 1916 to 1917. And his career highlights and awards was the 1916 National League pennant. Mowery then worked in a steel plant and played ball for Lebanon in the Steel League alongside many other former Major League players. In 1920 and 21, Mowery played and managed the Hagerstown Hubs. He led Hagerstown to the championship of the Blue Ridge League in 1920. But the team finished last in 1921. And in 1922 and 23, Mowery played for his hometown, the Chambersburg Maroons, in the same league. In 1926, Mowery managed Rochester in the International League and Scottsdale, Pennsylvania, in the Middle Atlantic League. Mowery lived in Chambersburg for the rest of his life. He bought some farmland and supplemented his farm income as a night watchman at Wilson College. During World War II, Mike worked at the Letterkenny Ordnance Depot and coached its baseball team. He died from heart disease on March 20th, 1947. 2 months later, over 1,000 people attended a memorial service for Mowery at Henniger Field after a Letterkenny game. According to the eulogy, he was our grand old man of baseball who started as a sandlotter and went to the top in baseball to become one of the greatest third baseman the game had ever known.